Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Brad Hussey from bradhussey.ca, and I want to talk about the 80-20 of getting started as a freelancer. If I started freelancing all over again from scratch, knowing everything that I know today, what exactly would I do to get up and running as quickly and as efficiently as possible? In other words, what essential 20% would I focus on in order to achieve 80% of the results that I'm looking for? This is a question that I've asked myself a number of times, and I've been emailed hundreds of times about similar questions. So I've laid out what I believe to be the crucial steps, the 20%, to help you get started on your freelancing journey. Step number one is set your goal. A great goal should be inspiring and encourage you to take action. To create a great goal, use the S.E.T format. So the S stands for sizable. So for example, become a full-time freelancer, a big goal. The E is explicit, so something very specific, like earn $40,000. And the T is time-bound, so you need a timeline, within 12 months, let's say. Therefore, a great set goal would be become a full-time freelancer and earn $40,000 by next year. Now, you have an exciting goal that you can reverse engineer into monthly achievable milestones and actionable weekly and daily tasks. So, for example, let's break that goal down. $40,000 in 12 months. That's $3,333 and change per month. Now, let's give ourselves the first couple months of the year to get things up and running. So let's say we have 10 months to earn $40,000. How exactly can we achieve that number in a single month? Well, let's break that down into something that we can action, something that we can digest. So $4,000 in a month is either one $4,000 project, or two $2,000 projects, or four $1,000 projects, all equating $4,000. Now, since we're just starting out, I'm going to aim for two $2,000 projects because I don't think I'm ready to book a $4,000 project, and I don't know how to book and deliver a single $1,000 project every week. That's a lot of hustle. Now, your goal at this point isn't just $40,000 in a year, it's book a $2,000 gig by next week. This is much more achievable and digestible, something that you can begin breaking down into daily tasks that you can action first thing in the morning. So creating your set goal doesn't mean it's going to be easy or happen automatically. You'll need to work pretty dang hard, but at least you'll have a roadmap to help you get there. Now, if the idea of making $40,000 seems overwhelming, ask yourself this question instead. Is the thought of sending 2 emails, posting on Facebook a couple times, and texting your work colleagues overwhelming? Probably not. Any goal can be broken down and reverse engineered into tiny little actionable tasks that are so small that you'll have no choice but to begin checking them off immediately. It's time to get to work. Second step is know your why. Yeah. This whole why concept sounds kind of cliche now ever since Simon Sinek's TED Talk went viral, and every startup, online guru, and blogger seems to be sharing it as if it was their own original idea. Whatever, what matters most is that the concept works. Simon Sinek is genius. Make sure you check out the famous TED Talk. I'll link that up in the blog post, the show notes, the description, wherever you are taking this piece of content in. Or you could just Google Simon Sinek why or Simon Sinek how great leaders inspire action. So, what is your why? It's quite simple. Ask yourself at the core of your being, why is it that you are doing what you do or want to do? I like to break it down into 2 parts. There's a self-driven why, and for most people, it comes down to what I like to call the 3 F's, just to help me remember. The first F is freedom, the second F is finances, and the third F is family. Let's talk about freedom. Everyone deserves freedom. The freedom of time and choice, specifically, when it comes down to how and where they want to work and how and where they want to live their life, on their own terms. The second F is finances. Money doesn't buy happiness, but what it does do is pay the bills, put food on the table, and takes you on vacations, among other things. Having your finances in order makes life a little bit easier, and that's a big part of what makes us happy as humans. The third F is family. At the end of life, people don't think about how many clients they booked or how much money they made or how many things they filled their houses or apartments with. They think about family, friends, relationships, memories, connection, experiences with loved ones, love in general. Your self-driven why is so that you can have freedom of choice, more financial control, and more time and connection with family. Now there's the selfless why as well, the second part. You're not just doing this for yourself. You're doing this to help people, to help your clients, solve problems for businesses you are passionate about, to make a positive impact. The less you make what you do about you, and the more you make it about others, the more successful you'll be. The next step, I think, is number 3, find and workshop a niche. You're gonna hear this all the time. You probably already heard it all the time. Things like niche down, choose a niche, the riches are in the niches. I hate that phrase. Get laser focused on an audience. But is it really such a big deal to niche down? Yes, 100%. If you're serving everyone, the reality is you are serving no one. How are you supposed to stand out if you don't know who you're standing out for? You're basically offering anything to anyone and simply hoping that your particular set of skills is attractive enough for clients to knock on your door. The problem with this strategy is that there is so much competition in the general freelancing services market with sites like Upwork and Fiverr and Freelancer and Elance and however many other sites are out there that there's really only one way to compete, and that's with price. And when price is the weapon of choice, who always wins? The one with the lowest price. Now tell me, do you really think that you can earn $40,000 in a year, and ideally more each year, by offering bottom-of-the-barrel commodity services? If so, then you're probably reading the wrong blog or watching the wrong video. It's much better and easier to be the big fish in the small pond, so that you can quickly become what is called a relative expert, which means you don't have to be world class. You just have to be the best in your little niche, or in the very least, more of an expert than your clients within that particular niche. So why would you niche down at all? When workshopping a niche, trying to figure it out, what you're looking for is a particular group of people, an audience, whom you can offer your products or services in order to solve their major pain points. The entire reason you want to niche down is so that you can weed out everyone else except your particular audience. This helps you speak their language, use the vocabulary they use, outline the problems they experience so that when you offer a solution, they say, yes, this guy or this gal gets me in my business. I need to get in touch. I need that. Let's say you're really good at building WordPress e-commerce sites, for example, and you love the outdoors. Why not reach out to some local outfitters or fishing guides, camping groups, buy them some coffee or beer or marshmallows and learn what they struggle with in business. Get to know them, ask questions. And based on your conversations and understanding of their business, put together an offer that helps solve their particular problem. Then it's much easier to put together an official proposal that speaks the language of that particular audience, outlines the problem that they've told you, and presents the solution, your solution. Now compare that with, hey everyone, I'm pretty good at Vue.js, CSS grids, and the latest version of Angular. Need a website? That was really Kermit the Frog. That's not going to work, no matter how good you are at Kermit the Frog impressions. So how do you workshop your particular niche? Ask yourself, what are your primary interests? What are you passionate about? Is it animals, kids' health and welfare, the outdoors, camping, hunting, entrepreneurship, artisanal coffee shops, fine dining, local restaurants in your area? Well, guess what? There is a niche for that. Keep in mind, however, it is possible to have too small a niche, and if your niche is too specific, it may not be very profitable. So keep that in mind when workshopping a niche. So think about, jam on, workshop a few niche ideas based on your particular interests and passions. And once you come up with a couple niche ideas, maybe 2 or 3, you'll need to determine their primary pain point in their businesses. and some common roadblocks, the terminology they use for that. If you have no idea what their primary pain point is or what they struggle with in business, the great part is you don't really have to guess. You can Google it. Or better yet, talk to a real human. Keep all this in mind. We're going to come back to it. The next part, I don't know what number this is anymore. Could be 3, could be 4. You need a skill and you need to be really good at it. I see this all the time with new freelancers and designers and developers. They believe they need to be the best or world class or somewhere close to that before they feel they're worthy of being paid or hired to do that. They'll keep learning and learning and learning and learning and learning until they feel ready, worthy, good enough. But do you want to know what happens with those people? They never start their freelance businesses because, well, here's the secret. There will always be more to learn. Knowledge is an endless pursuit, and you will never know everything. The reason you're telling yourself that you have to learn more before you start your business is because you are afraid to fail. So let's use the 80-20 analysis again. How about this? Instead of spending all of your time learning, spend 20% of your time learning and consuming, and 80% of your time actioning and producing what you've learned. Build on your current skill set. So ask yourself, what skills do you currently have? What are you already really good at? What about the skills that you think you could improve upon? Are they truly necessary? Again, use the 80-20 analysis here. Of the skills you're trying to improve, what 20% of that particular skill yield 80% of the results? For example, to make this a bit easier to understand, I'm pretty good at Photoshop. I know my way around it, but I'm nowhere near full competency. And I don't care to know 100% of Photoshop because the amount I know, let's say 20% of that software, gets me most of the results I need. And if I need to do something or design something that I don't really know how to do within the software, I'll figure it out pretty darn quickly. Google it. List out your skills, spend some time workshopping what you're amazing at, what you're good at, and maybe what you're not so good at. Now, don't just list out your technical hard skills, spend some time listing out your soft skills, which are equally as important, like communication, critical thinking, establishing relationships, being super funny. Okay, now that we have our list, hold on to it. We're gonna need it when we come up with the next piece of the puzzle. And the next piece is to build your offer. Now that you know your why, your niche, and your skills, or you're working on it, what product or service based on your skill set can you offer to your niche in order to solve the problems that they've told you or that you've discovered? Is it a turnkey service? Is it a digital product? Is it an online course? Is it consulting? Is it software, a plugin? What is it? Think about that. Spend a few minutes workshopping those ideas. Then determine how you're going to price that offer. Is it project-based? Is it a monthly fee, a subscription? Is it one size fits all, an hourly rate? Maybe it's a multi-packaged solution where you have package A, B, and C, all with different benefits and pricing. Now, if you think that your offer is, I build websites, then you're gonna need to start right back at the beginning of this video or audio or blog. Spend time with this, hash it out, write it down. It's actually a really fun exercise. Remember, you are a business and every business solves a problem by offering a solution to their customers. It's time that you figure yours out. The next piece of the puzzle is to get your offer in front of your niche. This is also known as marketing. Yep, you're a business now, so you've got to market yourself. See, how do you get your offer in front of the people who need it most? Your niche, your audience, the people that you've decided you want to serve. Well, there are hundreds, if not more, of ways to market yourself and your business, but we've got to focus on the 20% here, right? So, where do those first clients almost always come from? Immediate connections. These are your friends, your family, colleagues, coworkers, people you go to school with, your friends of friends, Facebook, your direct circle. They're the people you interact with daily. You trust them, and they trust you for the most part. They're the low-hanging fruit, and they're sometimes the biggest supporters of your new business venture. So here's what you do. Write everyone you know down in a list or a spreadsheet on a piece of paper in a journal. Make a note of anyone who owns a business, manages a business, is starting a business, knows a business owner, is an actor, a designer, a creative type, somebody who's starting some sort of venture. Contact every single one of them, send an email, call, text, Facebook, speak to them in person, just get in touch somehow. And remember, don't be sleazy, salesy, or weird. You're not trying to really sell them on anything, just be yourself. Then simply say, I'm starting up a new business offering X to Y. Would you happen to know anyone who might benefit from this? Could you put me in touch with them? Maybe you could even say you're offering a startup promo and your first 3 clients get your services for 50% off or free if you're brand new. One other method I've seen that works quite well is when you post on Facebook that you're starting a new business and you're looking for your first, let's say, 3 clients, then request that your Facebook friends tag a friend in the comments section who might be interested. It's actually surprising how many people actually tag a friend. The next piece of the puzzle is to go ahead and get started. Like today, not tomorrow, today. I didn't say this was going to be easy, but you're reading this because you're ready for a change. You want freedom like you have never experienced before. Freelancing to me, that's what it is all about, freedom. It's up to you now. So stop procrastinating. I've listed the 20% to help you get started. Now it's your turn to put it into action. Now, what I want you to do is to download the 80/20 workbook I've put together either in the description of this video or in the blog post and get started. It's a little workbook that you can print out or you can fill out on your computer, and it's going to help you get started, identify the things we talked about today in this piece. And I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, bradhussey.ca/subscribe. And download that workbook. I'll see you next time, and happy freelancing. Cheers.